It's now my honor to introduce you to Daniel Elbaum. He is head of the Jewish Agency for Israel here in North America. He is coming to us from Chicago. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, it's a privilege.
Before we get into the agency's connection and commitment to the Jewish Future Pledge, I want to ask, what is the Jewish Agency for Israel?
Of course, we are the largest Jewish not-for-profit in the world, with boots on the ground in over 65 countries. Whether we are talking about the United States or Moldova, our mission is the same. It's to connect and protect, to connect Jews to each other and to the state of Israel, no matter where they are, and to protect them either through Aliyah, we are the main organization in charge of Aliyah, or to protect them in their local community. So it's a privilege to be the head of North America for this organization, which has done incredible work for the last 90 years.
I want to speak with you, sir, about the Jewish Agency's recent endorsement of the Jewish Future Pledge and get a sense from you why the agency is so strongly supporting this initiative.
Look, as I said, we've been doing our work for over 90 years. It's a proud and glorious history that includes names like David Ben-Gurion, Chaim Weizmann, Golda Meir. But I'll tell you, as somebody in charge of North American operations today and my colleagues, we regard that history as not only a privilege, but a responsibility. If we're going to continue to do this work, we need to be here today, and we need to be here for the next 90 years for the challenges facing the Jewish people in the state of Israel. And that's exactly what the Jewish Future Pledge is about, assuring the future of our work.
Can you give me a sense, sir, about how the agency is incorporating the Jewish Future Pledge?
No, it starts with leadership. So when he was chairman of the Jewish Agency, Isaac Herzog, who I have to learn to stop calling bougie now that he's president of the state of Israel, took the Jewish Future Pledge right away. Shortly after my boss, Doron Almog, our new chairman, is taking the pledge. So it became a very easy decision for me to take it as well, following in the footsteps of those giants. But really, this was about our leadership standing up and saying this is something not only important for the Jewish Agency, but for the Jewish people overall. We've now begun the process of rolling it out to our top leadership, our Board of Governors, Jafina, our North American Council, and we see this as a key part of our development strategy, but not only our development strategy, our overall strategy as an organization to be associated with what we regard is one of the most important movements in American Jewry today.
Why are legacy gifts so very important for the future of the Jewish people, of the state of Israel?
Look, we don't know what the future brings. If we were talking before February of 2022, this would be a vastly different conversation. I would have spoken a lot about anti-Semitism. I would have spoken a lot about connecting Jews to Israel. I could still talk about those things. I would not have said a word about the Jews of Ukraine in Aliyah. Since that time, over 15,000 Jews from Ukraine and over 3 times that number from Russia and Belarus have now made Israel their home. It is the largest amount of Jews who've made Aliyah since the fall of the Soviet Union. That happens because of emergency responses, but it happens because you have the foundation. As my good friend Eric Fingerhut, the CEO of Jewish Federation, says, you don't build the firehouse when the building's on fire. You have to have it there before. And the Jewish Future Pledge is part of that. That is part of assuring that our organizations can do the work that needs to be done, not just us, but any worthwhile Jewish organization in that sense that someone believes in can continue to do that work that's so important to us. For me, as the head of a large Jewish organization, this is as close to a no-brainer as you get in the Jewish world. And I guess if I could be bold enough and make this statement to the audience, like there are many American Jews I know, some of them very good friends of mine, who don't simply, no matter how hard I try, no matter what I say, no matter my speech, my op-ed, they don't care about the state of Israel and they don't care about the Jewish people. Not enough to do something about it. They might care in some sense, they might tell me nice article, but they don't care enough. I think somebody who has listened to me for this long on your show and is watching your network is different. Something about you compels you for action, that you really want to do something here. And the Jewish Future Pledge is just an easy way to do it.
So along those lines, I want to get a sense as to how the Jewish Future Pledge fits into the overall priorities of the Jewish Agency?
Look, it's a huge part of our priorities. As I mentioned, we're rolling it out to our leadership. We are encouraging them to be active in it. We are posting about it on social media. We are using the full resources of our organization to get behind this. Again, there is enlightened self-interest here. We believe it'd be beneficial to our work, but more so, and sort of more importantly, I do think it's a huge statement to the Jewish world overall. And very personally, it's a statement to my children about what's important to me. And I've said many times that we have to stop. We should talk to our children about Israel, but we need to also show them why we care about Israel. We need to learn Hebrew. We need to take them to Israel. And for me, we need to show them that this is important enough that we plan to invest in the future, that this is also something that's part of it, that the Jewish organizations in some way are like our children, and they're entitled to that level of continuing support long after we've passed the scene.
We're back in our JLTV studios, and I want to thank again Mike Levin, Julie Platt, and Daniel Elbaum for joining us. Yes, that is our show for tonight, but I want to take a moment and speak with you personally from my own heart. And I want to speak with you about the Jewish Future Pledge. I feel strongly that everyone in our audience should consider signing the pledge. Look, the Jewish community is not just made up of people. It is made up of institutions that help and serve those people. It's important that we keep those institutions alive for future generations, for younger folks to experience. So please follow my lead and sign the Jewish Future Pledge. We'll see you next week. My name is Brad Pomerantz. This has been the J Report.